you. Okay.
Do we have all five candidates? Whoa.
We have to answer this. What do you got?
What do you got?
You're recording your TikTok right here.
Thanks, that's awesome. Cool. I'm zooming in to get the thing as best as possible. Here we come. Pretty good. All right. Yeah, go for it.
Sorry, our your shoes are slowing us down a little bit, but hi, welcome. My name's Adrienne Christie. I'm a member of the Progressive Women's Caucus. PWC works to shape our community through education, leadership, and participation. This has traditionally included voter education, so we're grateful to have you here tonight. Thanks to Tri-County Health Network and to the school district for partnering with us, and to the library for providing babysitting for us this event as well. Our website is a great resource with election information. There's some QR codes around the room. There's links on that page to all of the local ballot measures. There are links to the current candidates for town council. If you all have websites or information or pages that you want me to link to, please respond to that email that I sent. The link, yeah. We are incredibly grateful to have Antonio here this evening to provide simultaneous interpretation, and Julia Milan, I'm sorry, to co-moderate with me. She's going to ask all the questions in Spanish. I'll ask in English. There's headphones in the back of the room for people who are Spanish speaking. We understand that including two languages is a little bit clunky, but we are trying to model the way that some of our community events could look and feel, having people listening and understanding in the language of their hearts. So we're committed to the language justice, and thanks for being patient with us with that regard. I'll let Antonio say a few words about how that will work, and if you need a headset, how to do that.
For making let's one about Thank you, Adrienne. And thank you to the Progressive Women's Caucus and those of you here and listening at home. My name is Dylan Brooks. I am the treasurer of the Telluride R1 School District School Board, and I am in my last of 6 years on the board. So this might be one of the last times you get to hear from me, unless you come to my Monday coffees where I'll talk about it some more. What issue 4A, school district, beyond that village, beyond North Boston, all the way, until you get to the north of school. A vote, and I encourage anybody who has questions to reach out. The bond issue is $31.8 million in base amount. Dollars in residential home value in terms of the estimated increase in tax. I just wanted to highlight a couple of them. One of them is over the last 20 years, the actually from the school has stayed quite level. So far, 14 lower. If it does make it lower, going down. This is a shaped time period. We're looking at a 20-year bond issue. Number of these bonds we paid off before that. And so it's low going down. Something going down again. So it's weird, man. So there's a fixed plan, and so I'm reading out of the number of using stuff, and that's really what I mean. What I want to circle back to is the number one reason that we use staff. Our superintendent has a great story of literally walking down the street, a guy moving there, out for him, and this teacher that we essentially stole from the Denver Bowl. We're looking to do looking to sustainable benefit for our staff and to free up additional funds so that we can pay off the rest of the teachers' living wage. One of the things I'm proud of over the last 6 years, we have managed to increase average teacher from 74,000, and as you know, well, that's a good increase. So not much what they have to do. So we continue to those units have already been identified. When that we get this bond, some of them are in Kellerhead, some of them not village, some of them retail, some of them lost the hill. We're all the above effects. There's not one place that we're going to send it to levels. We're looking at all the markets for all the we looking for You wanna take mine?
Go. Yeah.
Thank you so much to the, for allowing us to come up here and get. And why it's not so important. It's not for it, they can, they still be. Measure. Smaller, okay, but just as important. So, let me give you a little bit of who and why this started. It's two kids in high school, just to make a legal mess. I'm in back down here. And years ago, I got my kids back down here. You, 75 miles to get pretty good school, we're just wanting to go here. But to go here, you have to stay there. Now, I missed you. There's no reason to. Particularly in the last people, we've got work in something like. It's really came about. Everybody understands, I thought, there's school, I'm sorry, school district. Is they first a spot for all the kids in Rico to be able to go to school on time. What happened was it was pretty close. So they're not being able to go over here. When getting their together, so it hasn't happened yet. When it comes in, there are people always asking questions. Meaning is we have the school district voting community, we have the Rico town, and we also have that freaking general. So there's posters over here, and I recommend that everybody check them out. But I want to make it really simple for you guys to know what the impact is to each of those kind of three communities. Because we do have to get this through both in down as well as in our county. So to make it short, they're doing a speech goes to school in by state law. The funding follows that. So all of those students in Rico that already come to Sky Ride, the funding is here. The Creek is not using out. So you're, they're already getting what they could get in the first place. Let's start talking about taxes in this county. There is no change is what we have. Interestingly enough, and this is the question really on the other county, they're wondering what they lose by losing the students at Rico by coming here. It's actually written. You guys recall the last election, they actually had a bond. They're similar to the bond that you guys are putting on this year. People's taxes actually go down. So as far as a tax, as far as the standalone taxes, it's not going to wash. We see that as a plan for everybody involved. And it should make it pretty simple for people to decide on that when that's what it comes down to, where my dollars go. In addition to that, it is really a little off the shoulders of all the parents that live in Rico. Also in Middle Town, I recommend you go check. Parents that live there, you guys just heard, there's actually a lot of teachers that live there as well. So Rico really sees itself part of the entire school district. Right? If you have any questions, please reach out to me or anybody else on the Rico campaign. Please let me know if you have any questions. Move into candidate. 1 minute. We'll cut you off and you research time. Block on the computer, so you have a sense of exactly alphabetical order with make sure you.
Thank you very much for hosting this event. My name is Quentin Strand. Just take the microphone. My name is Quentin Strand. I was born and raised in a military family. I've traveled the world. I bring this to you because I'm interested that I've had experiences in public education in the United States of America. I've done schooling in international schools in Europe. I finished my master's from Montclair State University. Currently working on my bachelor's from Montclair State University. I'm currently working on my master's in university. I've been teaching now for almost 20 years. Education as you and children is the most important thing. The reason why I'm running the school board is I see myself much like this Caucus teachers out this semester. I think it's easy to have someone that can tell us that is a which we are doing the job. I think that we could be progressive and do a better job. That's my
I'm currently on the school board. I've been on the school board 14 months ago. To be getting work seat with California. And I'm running for re-election because I love this community and the school district, Daisy's in sixth grade, Fox is at fourth grade, because of sixth grade, they've had fantastic experiences, and so we've got to which I'm part of continue to improve the school districts. My professional background, I ran a data center company for a number of years, and I've been entrepreneur, so looking for businesses to buy and then run. I sort of on the company boards, and the fun part for me is enjoying finishing a bunch of CEOs, and it's one of the things found is the
Hi, I'm Sarah. I have been on the school board on and off the last 14 years. 6 years on, years on. It's just finishing and asking to do more. I've had a passion for education my whole life. Teaching, schools, tech degree, and then since 1987. So I've seen a lot of change, I've gathered a lot of information, made lots of connections at the state level, and I am learning more. Come together. These places, I want to continue that. Education is always, there's always things that teachers see, set out a plan. It's starting to see the results. There's still a lot to do.
That relatively much had a great time, but coming for the first time, by myself on the free time, really, it's kind of be able to, take on this great careers and activities, volunteers, and then as Ryan said, be back.
Hi, my name is Alexis Hodel. I am running for school board as a way to give back to the community that I love so much. I have 2 children in the school district, so fifth grade and Continue contributing opportunities in the small ways and large ways. Sorry, that's why I want to be on the school board. My work background, I am a CPA.
You all for your knowledge and each
These are the questions.
we ask you to speak slow, but we also know that you are limited on. From the jar and order and the question. The first. Do you? Outside with the of the program school, but what student is working well, what.
I see myself kind of, I guess, depending on the issue, disruptor or a go longer. I don't know what the appropriate word would be for that. But I consider myself to be very open-minded. When I do have an opinion on something, it's pretty strong, and I love to talk that out with people and be convinced of ways that I may not be right, or to convince others of ways they may not be right, and kind of meet in the middle. I do think that what our school district is doing currently is we're doing a lot of great things. We have great teachers and great staff who are committed. And one of the things that I was like on with that is approaches, teaching various subjects. One of the things that I think that we do really well is focusing on the emotional education for our children, particularly after COVID. That's been and I'd like to continue to focus on that. Again, focus on providing more support and
I'm going to continue to stand. I feel like this question was specifically for most of you probably know you might say to stay progressive as I state I think that we need to not only look at what we're doing and answer that we're doing great things, because we are doing it. We can't always be progressive in what we do. You know, I'd like to share a situation. I was working in the school district, and during the COVID, my children were doing better, and most teachers were wearing masks, and they were supposed to wear clear masks, but many of the teachers were not. This issue to the administration, we talked about not having results, to the point of not having results, and as a result of that, so yes, I would say this at the end of that disruption, this is civil rights charter that I made the school district, and the school district had to enter into a plan to remediate some of this problem, not just with my children, but system and everything. So what you can expect from me is doing what's best for our children. I really feel as a teacher that the only thing that we need to do as a board, as an administration, as a community, is do what's best for our children. So when it comes to these issues, if there are things that we're doing, that we're doing well. They have been supportive, but when we're doing things that we could be doing better, we'll speak out that on them and be a disruptor, because as I said, students and their needs are most important.
So I think more of a collaborative effort. Coming together and working together, I think that's place. It's really, high level. I think that's the most important part of the teachers, but there's so many different pieces that you have to have facilities, you have to have a good environment, you have to have good food, you have to have the hours of the, there's so many moving pieces that you have to deal with. And working together as a team, we've been able to come up with a plan reaffirming our mission, set goals, very targeted goals on training and assessments, and we are starting to see progress, projected, measurable progress. And that is the way a high level board works, is by looking at the whole system and looking at measurable outcomes. So, and I think that's done in a collaborative way. Thank you. David.
And thank you, some of my former students, they shared the discovery in my student classroom. Things are always unexpected, always live. I don't see myself so much as a disruptor. I think that as a peak, I spoke about it this support. I received a series of awards. I think that consistency is a big thing. I think that institutional knowledge is a big thing. What I am more than disruptor or collaborator is a listener. One of the things I'm excited about is the fact that given my own time and given the study, almost inexhaustible free time. When I joined the board as part of my interview process, I don't remember what the question was, but it was basically kind of what's your agenda coming into the board, what do you change? And I think then it was organizations where people come in with a strong opinion rather than having a full picture and being able to see so I kind of always approach that I thought they said the best part as much information as possible to make the best decisions for the organization. So I mean, I guess my simple answer to whether or not I'm a disruptor is, and I need to be, I'm very capable of being a disruptor, but there have been a few instances on the school board over the last 14 months where I have had to be a disruptor, and that's what we've been looking at is incremental changes to what we're already seeing are very results for students.
Great, thank you.
Personal se ha vuelto difícil para las escuelas de todo el país y vemos la lucha enseguida. ¿Cómo creen que la escuela debería avanzar en materia de educación de personal?
Hiring our staff has become difficult for schools across the country, and we see the struggle in Telluride. How do you think the schools should move forward in addressing staff?
It happens very momentary. Thank you.
How do we address the staffing issues in the town of Toga? I know that oftentimes when we have this conversation, and obviously housing is going to play a crucial role. I think first and foremost, we need to take the staff that we have and train them. That's not to say that they're not great teachers, but students are rapidly evolving. I read all the pieces of information that needs to deliver to them is rapidly evolving. And if you've ever spent time in a classroom like I have, just going to college and going through a teacher education program is not enough. It's just not enough. You're going to need to be trained constantly, all the time. And so what we need to do is take our teachers and provide them with the best possible training. Because when we do so, what will happen is they will become more successful in the classroom. Our students will become successful and they will become successful. And with that success will become job satisfaction. With job satisfaction, then we can create retention. And what we need to do is not too much worried about, well, we still need to worry about bringing more teachers, but we need to take the teachers that we have and we need to train them so that they can be successful in their jobs and so that they can stay here and continue to teach. I have been in this school district, I've been in this community for 23 years now. I have seen 4 principals, I have seen 3 administrators, 3 superintendents, and I've seen a lot of things like a roller coaster. They go up, they go down with each of these changes. I think what I've seen in the past 2 years is when we don't agree with the teacher, we are all too ready to get rid of them. Myself have been let go. There's been other people that have been let go from this district, and teachers that have left on their own accord because they have resistance. So what we need to do is train teachers so that they have job satisfaction and they will stay in our community.
Similar to Quentin, I do think, understandably, we focus on housing a lot around here, and I do think that that is clearly very important. There are other aspects to attacking in this community, in that I feel one of them is recruiting people who want to live in small mountain towns instead of just any teacher, because people move there and decide this is not the right type of middle, and we have sacrifice maybe another teacher, another staff member that would have been more interested in our community and meshing themselves. That would encourage them to stay longer. I do think that as we continue to attract to retain our teachers, focus on training, giving them opportunities to do things that they're interested in, they can pass that on. And I also think there's a lot to be said for the intangibles of feeling the support from community, from the school board, from the administration, that make the teachers feel like they're not alone, that they are working together with everyone. Whether you agree with someone or disagree, that you're all working together towards a common goal. And I do think that the school board can be very key in offering that intangible to teachers. You know, of course, we want housing, we want higher pay. Not all of that necessarily in our direct control with instant gratification, but I do think the support and community involvement in teachers and students.
I think the school district going as good as the teachers that it has, and organizations in general, the best organizations are exceptional at attracting, growing, and retaining the great talent that they have. I met with the school district's head of HR last week to talk about attracting the talent. I think everybody kind of sells itself in a lot of ways, but there are definitely improvements that the districts can be making to how we can better attract great teachers. We talked through some of those things. On the growth side, I think we do a lot about teacher training, which is fantastic. It's what you mentioned, that's so important. But I do think there's ways that we could improve the opportunities our teachers have to grow and develop. And the extension side, actually, one of the previous, this was like what our previous discussions. That data I found showed an 18% teacher turnover across the state of Colorado, and our turnover was lower than that at 15%. So yeah, we're definitely doing a better job than most of Colorado, but I think there are ways to improve. One of the things we talked about recently as a school board is kind of like more ways that we can make the teachers feel valued and remind them what a difference they're making to the kids in this community. And so that's an initiative we're working on. And there's a lot of research showing that the top 2 reasons people leave their job is because they either don't feel valued or they don't feel like they have growth opportunities. So I think the more we can continue to do those 2 things for our teachers, I think our teachers will be able to do this.
Great, thanks. Just to follow up on what Ryan said about child satisfaction, I've talked to a number of like health and university for a number of years, but the teaching writing school at the University of Iowa, the department here, from private schools. I have never had much fun teaching as I have here at Telluride, and that's because of this incredible community board. I remember my wife was a long-time college counselor, grew Danny Hirsch's scholarship program. As a community is routinely every year $400,000 or $500,000 for our graduates to assist in their their college aspirations. I always felt incredibly supported by parents, by non-parents, by just community members. I mean, really, obviously, that doesn't say I could not have come back to Telluride. We didn't have a fantastic this values. The next question is it's nothing that's fantastic. But what have you done well? Created teaching. I always felt like it on me. I felt like I was respected as a professional. And these are the things that I retain teachers. This is huge speak. It wasn't in my head. This, of course, this week. The thing is, we can recruit them. I at one point had 3 former students teaching here in our school district. 2 are still teaching here, and I think there's a lot of potential there. These are people who, in many cases, grew up here. They know Telluride. So I think there's people that I know former students who were my own English majors who were trying to get back here as well. So I guess.
So I think you talked about this a little bit across the table, and that is the work environment. And a lot of that is about listening to your staff, listening to the teachers and what their needs are, and making sure that we have the support systems in there, that we have the right people hired to help the classroom teachers create a learning community where everyone can work together and learn from each other. And making sure that the teachers are goals and what the people working on. But I think at a higher level, is funding. Is states in the nation were down in the 40s. They were just not for treatment funding. And so I have been working at the school board at the state level to advocate for appropriate funding, advocate for a formula that makes sense. Like is from the 80s. It didn't take into account the needs for tax planning, the needs for behaviorists, the needs for technology, things that are expected of us right now. And I'm seeing that they're currently meeting other people around the state as a legislative committee to create a formula And then the next step will be with the legislature to make sure they actually fund that formula, because that formula is gonna come out with more money. And then we can have better resources for parents because of what you said.
Thank you. We're gonna take like a 10-second break and let Antonio get a drink of water and take a deep breath. Just talk there, repeating what everyone is saying. So, give them a chance to take a break. And the first thing I'm going to tell you about your advice.
Yes. Here started going. No, I want you guys all much closer.
Oh, much
I want you guys to be like 3 fingers.
Okay.
Because then I can do my job better. And then they can hear.
Okay, we are ready. So, survey data shows that our community has substantial challenges when it comes to student substance use, mental health, and bullying. What do you think about how the school is addressing this? And do you have additional ideas for how the community should be involved in supporting Tellurhead's youth?
Los datos de la encuesta muestran que nuestra comunidad enfrenta desafíos sustanciales en lo que respecta al uso de sustancias, la salud mental y el acoso entre los estudiantes. Sobre la escuela,
¿Qué opinas sobre cómo
la escuela está abordando esto? Ideas adicionales sobre cómo la comunidad debería participar en el apoyo a los jóvenes de Tellurhead.
We're going to start with David.
Things about some to do. We live in a town that is, you know, it's destination. People come here to party. I think over the years, kids, you know, look at me, you know, visitors, and that's somehow. I do worry that our kids don't. In school is, you know, athletic programs, there's a theater. I think we're often a lot, but the itself doesn't apply a lot. I think they need to do for the last 20 years or the town council meetings. It's put together really great for, you know, rec centers, not just, you know, and those services for we don't we tend to overlook the need to find kids. I mean, most of the kids are telling you love the outdoors, but this is a small number of time. I think that is, you know, it's still that contributes to and it's other people get as far as bullying goes, I think our counseling program is pretty good. I think we've got various. I really think that teachers who are in the classroom need to be aware of what's going on, need to be aware of what's going on always. They need to be out there with the kids, get to know the kids. I think certainly over the years, we've called out many kids, and you know, explain to them why their behavior was in the community, in the school. So I think that
Sure. Thank you. So, like David was saying, you know, my kids who up here, the kids came to, you know, long haulers can take off. Now I've got 3 grandkids in the school district. And one of them are the challenges of the substance abuse. And lots of that has been exaggerated or amplified during COVID. School was not school, it was different. Now, our district got through COVID better than many, but there's still challenges, and they're still there. And so substance abuse, we always have to address on a daily basis. We do have times in the year where we bring in experts to talk to the kids, and the ones that I found that have been most effective are fact-based. They give the kids information. I can remember the kids coming home and they asked me if I could take this home, and I said, no, when you're 18, you can choose. And then, you know, one of these weeks, we were talking about addiction, I said, Mom, that's not fair. I said, what do you mean it's not fair? They say to people, the later you start, less likely you are to get addicted. That's my point. So, I think, when our kids are smart and they are analytical and they ask hard questions and we need to give them honest answers. I'm dealing with more experts to deal with behavioral issues, which is the bullying and something like that. And it's just something we need to do to bring our kids along and make it good schools with people. Quentin, please.
Thank you. The short answer I would say is we need to teach our children. We need to hold our children accountable for their actions. I want to share a story. As many of you know, I worked at the local school district as a teacher, and I get to talk to many people out of Caucus. And just recently, became a manager here. I was having a conversation with 2 weeks ago. And he said, Quentin, the kids they come here to this store, they're not like the kids normally say please and thank you, and they don't vandalize the store. And unfortunately, that's not what he said about our students. This is going on in the market. There's a lot of the kids don't say please and thank you, which I find surprising because I think the strongest thing that we have going on in this community is our family unit. And I don't believe that this is coming from the families. It's coming from somewhere else. And being a disruptor, I'm going to tell you where I think it comes from. We're working at this, and we have a district where when kids come to school and they do something wrong and they go to the principal, they leave with a juice and a cookie. I don't think that's how we should do things. We need to teach our kids what we expect of them. We need to hold them to high standards. And if we don't meet these standards, we need to hold them accountable. So what David said, I agree with him. I live on a military base growing up in the city community. You live yourself into a lot of trouble. So in addition to teaching them, holding them to high standards and keeping them accountable, I think we need to give them more activities than what we got. Not just running around the neighborhood, going to the park, but actual structured activities where these students can grow and learn. And we do have some of these things, but maybe we need to add more. Thank you.
Ryan.
I think it's absolutely part of what the school district should be looking at in terms of educating the kids in this community. And it's something we talk a lot about the school board. I believe the statistics you're citing are probably from the Colorado Public Kids Survey, which those results are shocking to me, but as a school board member and a parent, and something we talked a lot about in our school board meetings and in conversations with schools.
I think when we talk about success as a school district, obviously there's a lot of reading, math scores, and where kids go to school. That's very important. But as a school board, we also have what we call a portrait of a graduate. So we talk a lot about what do we want our kids to look like when they leave our school district? What kind of people are they? What kind of community members are they? And when we talk about substance abuse and mental health and bullying, those are all key components of trying to raise just great kids for this community. And that's
what we talk a lot about as a school board and a school district, and what we like to try evaluate.
As a parent, this is one of the things that keeps me up at night regularly. There is access to anything, everything in this town. I myself have found drugs on the gondola multiple times, and every time I just think my kids ride the gondola alone. They could have found it, and it freaks me out. Having said that, I don't know that we can put all the responsibility for bullying and mental health and substance abuse on the school. I think it comes from parents, coaches, other adults that our kids interact with throughout the day, and setting a good example. I recently was talking to Zoe Gillette, and I asked her, that I'm scared to initiate conversations with my kids about drugs that was in their head. And she said, no, the new research shows, gonna bring it up, give them facts and let them process that and do that. And so I personally have been preparing to have that conversation with my children. It's very scary for me. Because I think my parents got really lucky and that I was just naive to all the drugs and alcohol. I do think that offering mental health resources to our kids is a key part of tackling the substance abuse as well as the bullying. I think everyone in this room can think back to a time when they were a kid that they were mean to someone else. And if you think about why you were mean to them, it's because you didn't feel good about yourself or you were insecure about yourself. And acknowledging that and working with kids with that and saying this is why someone was doing it to you and this is why you don't do it to other people is something that we can incorporate into the school more than substance abuse.
¿No crees que podría evolucionar el programa de inmersión dual para cultivar una cultura en la comunidad de habla hispana?
Do you think the dual immersion program could evolve to support increased inclusion of our Spanish-speaking community?
Painting. I know you said
Please, could you repeat the question?
Sure. How do you think the dual immersion program could evolve to support increased inclusion of our Spanish-speaking community?
In a program that the dominant will have of the time speak Spanish go further than it's already done.
This is one area where maybe I won't be as big a disruptor as I've been in the past 2 years. I think that it's really awesome that the school district has the dual immersion program, since most of, I don't know, I think I said 30% of our population is Spanish speakers, maybe more, but a considerable amount of Spanish speakers. So we have teachers in our school who speak their language. You can send them emails and communicate with them in Spanish. They can call them in and they can have conferences in Spanish. I myself, out in Norwood, just received a new 4th grade student who came from Mexico and does not speak English. His Spanish is not very strong. We do not have the benefit of having the dual immersion program. We do not have a teacher in our district that actually speaks Spanish. So I myself have to use parents or other students to communicate with this child and his parents. So I guess this is the one place where I'm going to put them down early and just say that I think that the Telegraph School District, in relation to what the dual immersion program is going to service and speaking community now, maybe we're doing a good job.
Ryan.
I agree with Quentin. I think what we've seen is the dual immersion program has done a lot to put the words in the question, embrace the Spanish speaking, increase inclusion with our Spanish speaking community, which is fantastic. I would say there's a couple of areas where we can be doing better. More is twofold. I think one, we're trying to figure out ways that we can engage with the parents of our Spanish speaking students more.
We've tried a lot of things and we want to continue trying things to just get more involvement. You know, I hear parents and teachers and administrators talking about how few Spanish speaking parents come to our parent nights, and we really want them there and we want them to feel like they're a part of our school district community.
So we're trying to figure out, we're not putting the blame on them, we're putting the blame on us. What else can we be doing to feel more involved and to be more involved? I think the second thing is when we review the educational achievement scores of our students, we do see with our Spanish speaking students to our non-Spanish speaking students, and the gap's bigger than we want it to be. And so, we're continuing to find ways to close that gap and make sure that all kids, no matter what language is spoken at home or what their primary language is, have the same educational opportunities.
I felt that one of my greatest decisions as a teacher was to have an in-space Spanish. I think the program is, it didn't quite make it into the high school now, but the fellow is teaching me about science and Spanish with a couple of high school, classes, part of the program. I think that, my kind of education, I've got 3 of my 5 grandchildren live in Mexico, Nietos down there. And I thought it was going to be cool to just, not just in terms of the parents, but really. There was always that golf. You can only imagine that someone speaking Spanish is going to create an environment that's going to be overwhelming. Spanish speaking students to really demonstrate for their non-Hispanic peers so that they are smart, they are ambitious, they have things that they can actually contribute. So I'm very excited about the program. Excited to see how it will.
Thank you. So the DI program is one of the things that I'm most proud to be involved in. I was on the board when we first started the DI program. To see it, we had it 1 year at a time, starting in kindergarten. To see it up in the high school is results of both the English speakers and the Spanish speakers in understanding each other. And what the DI is, it's about not simply language acquisition, about different people who have different backgrounds. As long as including or expanding with the family, almost the top of my head, you can see, especially as we're getting into middle school and high school, after school programs, maybe a Spanish class, maybe events, maybe a secret library that the Spanish speaking community organizes and you get involved in it. I mean, who knows? I mean, let's reach out and make it happen.
In my observations of my kids and the kids in their class, I think that the Spanish speaking kids in our community feel very welcome and feel integrated. I think it's the parents that we really need to embrace and make feel welcome and bring into the community and have them more involved. Over the last couple of years, I have noticed everything about English and Spanish as opposed to one having our Spanish translator here tonight, I think is another great example of improvements that we're making. But I do think it's important to acknowledge that a lot of the Spanish speaking families in our community have different lifestyles than English speaking community. During the day or after school, after work, and acknowledging that and offering maybe some of our back to school nights and such at later times or at more flexible times, offering it multiple days within a week. I know that's a lot more for teachers to do and everything, but just allowing that to embrace the different lifestyles and different situations that families are in and bring them in.
Thank you. Okay. So with limited and possibly decreasing funds, what would your priorities be for maintaining the school's facilities and operations?
Con fondos limitados y posiblemente deficientes, ¿cuáles serían sus prioridades para mantener las instalaciones y operaciones de la escuela?
And we will start with Cheryl. Okay, budget, what fun. So one of the things is, the biggest thing probably is keeping our excellent teachers, because that is where the problem is the road. Having said that, it's identifying what supports, what needs to happen around the classroom to make it functional, to make it vibrant. And then of course, keeping our facilities solid. And it's, when you're cutting budgets, it is tough because the needs are spread out evenly. It's not like you can use 20 for 12 kids, you can eliminate one class of physics across the grades. It just doesn't work smoothly. But just have to look long and hard at what's working, what's not working, and get leaner. David.
I think that, children, facilities are being teach anywhere. I can teach that, I've education trusted administration when earthquake 1935, I think, at the campus. And broke in a bunch of construction trailers, and that was fine. That's that. We brought in a kind of same classroom, so we had a really good school. It was facilities, and I think that's the current board has been really terrific job. It's streamlining the school, really focusing on us, making sure that we my class will rely on technology, but it's take a look at and it's maintain all these laptops. I think that's
Alexis. When it comes to budgets and such, I mentally kind of remove salaries because those are non-negotiables to me. Those are no matter what. And I am along the lines with David and Cheryl here that facilities are key. I think a lot about the broken windows policing theory, where if a window is broken in a community and it isn't fixed, it sends out the message that that's not a priority, that's unimportant, and so people don't take care of property going forward. And I see that similar in the school, where if you have a leaky roof or broken technology, the students don't feel like education is important, that they're important. And so you do need to maintain the facilities, again, of course, for safety. And then the technology is so key and it changes so quickly. And by the time these little kids are adults and working, I can't even imagine what kind of tech skills they'll be expected to have. And we need to be able to provide them with that education so that they're prepared for that part of adult life as well. Right.
So I've worked with a number of companies that have faced similar situations, what the school district's going to face, and I think the root of this question lies that Tracy was just talking about on our top measure was talking about how schools get funding based on the number of students they have. And we've seen decline in enrollment and so years, we expect that to continue. Luckily, we get to use the greater of our enrollment over 5-year average. But that's what we expect to continue based on our latest projections. So I think a lot of companies deal with similar issues, and I think some companies put their hand in the sand, or some firms put their hand in the sand and refuse to deal with it, and kind of wait for really to happen. Ones to address it head on, and not make decisions. Want to go and the stuff we started having on the school board, I would say, and the administration that was meeting to try to look at what is our coming. How can we start planning for the next 5 years? I don't think we need silver bullets. If we just do this, if we just do that, I think it's really looking at it holistically and looking at all of our expenses and trying to do lots of cost benefit analysis of
where do we get the biggest bang for our buck and where are we seeing the greatest return on the investments we're making in different instances. And but it really takes a lot of time and effort, which when I work in the administration, they also have to make those decisions. But we know it's in the best interest of the school district and the kids, and so we're going to be going to the next several years.
To address increased funding. Well, personally, I'm going to vote for yes on board. But anytime we can get money from anywhere and pump it into our school system, I think it's going to be a positive. That we have people that are going to use it in the appropriate ways. It is my belief as a teacher that the heartbeat of the school is the teacher, because the teachers are the ones who have the most profound impact on our students. And going back to what we had talked about earlier with staffing, I think what we need to do with our money is we need to put it towards retaining strong teachers, because when we retain strong teachers, we are going to we're gonna have a school system where the students become successful, and that success will be heard around the state and region, and soon enough, students and families will begin to bring their students to our school. As many of you know, a lot of student enrollment, and as I have stated over the last several years, the enrollment has been increasing. There's been a number of different reasons why this is, but I would venture to guess that part of it is, are our students successful in our school? Are they happy in our school? And I know if there are not things that we have to get at, yes, I think that we're going to take care of our teachers.
Great, thank you. This is our last question, and then we'll go to closing statements. Do you think the goal should be supporting and preparing students who do not choose? If so, what are alternative pathways to the workforce and programs the school could offer?
¿Crees que la escuela debería apoyar y preparar a los estudiantes que no eligen la universidad? Si es así, ¿cuáles son los cambios alternativos hacia la fuerza laboral y los programas que la escuela podría ofrecer?
I 100% think that we need to prepare students for alternate rates in college. It's not for everyone for various reasons.
And there are a lot of great professions that people can make for themselves that
Don't require college education. In fact, a lot of those jobs are very high demand. And they have limited people working in them because
college has been such a priority.
historically, I think
As much as we can personalize the program
for kids of these interests, because
obviously within a school, you can't make a custom program for each kid, but you can offer options, kind of open kids' eyes to other opportunities and pathways than college, while still supporting those who do want to go to college, and preparing for that, helping them find the right school.
I don't think that we should focus on college as the next step.
Sure. I feel like one of our with college placement from my wife's counselor. And you're right, that a liberal education is not for everyone. However, more education is needed. It can be CMC 2-year associate program, or I think a certification program to floor panel installer. These are resources that we present to our kids. Yeah, I think that we need to acknowledge that. I don't want to say that college isn't for everyone, because I think everybody in our school district, in our school system, all of our seniors can benefit from further training, further education. It doesn't have to be just a 4-year liberal arts kind of education. Although, again, all the statistics show that, over time, having a college degree really, sets our kids up for in so many possible ways in terms of lifetime income, in terms of lifetime satisfaction. As Yale president once said that the value of liberal arts education is because it makes life more interesting, whether it's digging a ditch or learning the great American novel. I think we're starting to over the years. I think that I'm sort of kind of this with Dan right now at the school. I do think our community has so many resources in terms of mentorships, in terms of apprenticeships, and I think Heather Rosen, her mentorship program is terrific. Expand on it. And use the resources we have in this community. We have so many terrific tradesmen and tradespeople and craftspeople here in town that we can call on. But I don't want to give up on kids and say, you don't need to go to college. Just go work at a church industry or something, even if that's what you want to do.
Cheryl, I guess we're going down the line. So, a few years ago, I participated in a state level community working on a new graduation guidelines. And they wanted to make it standards based. And I was in the committee that was looking at alternatives, in other words, kids that weren't necessarily going to college. And they were talking about making sure through a third party, like testing or outside source, that every kid who graduated high school and got a diploma could go to college without remediation in both language arts and math. And right now, prior to this, 30% of our kids going to state schools choose remedial classes. So I asked them, I said, kids that aren't going to college, do they really need this? And they said, well, when we inquired with industry, if they went straight to work right out of high school, they wanted that level of competency for our kids, and that they wanted that tied to a diploma. So what that means is we have, since then, sure that the kids are at that point, which means they can go to a trade school or a junior college or a four-year college without taking a 5th year to get up to speed. And I think that makes things more accessible. And we mentioned the long-standing mentorship program. The new internship program in my high school has been impressive. It has really individualized curriculum based on students' interest, where they can get, let's say they want to explore engineering, they can get their math class taken care of through an engineering style math. Still be graduation requirements while exploring in industry design. And so we've got 12 kids in there, finding ways to scale that up. Great, thank you. Quentin. Trying to keep you on your toes, it's so close. Sure.
Where did it go? Okay, do you think the school should be supporting and preparing students who do not choose to go to college? If so, what are the alternative pathways to the workforce and programs the school could offer?
I would answer this question in the affirmative. Kind of going on what Alexis and Dave said, I wouldn't explicitly tell a student, oh, don't go to college, it's not for you, because I don't care whether it's community college or higher education or education, it's or outcomes. The more we learn, the stronger we become, the more we're going to be able to what we're doing about this. So yes, I would say that I would support that we give these kids a path to their future and educate them. But I would do so in my not saying, hey, it's not for you. That's a short answer. Thank you.
Right.
I mean, lots of agreements to what's been said already. I'm a big believer in lifelong learning. I also don't think that college is right for every kid. Maybe what I can add to what's already been said is the minor program
had zero credit for getting it off the ground, but I've been a big supporter. And my best moment as a school board member was when they had to take out one of their school, brought in probably 3 or 4 kids were in the program to talk about their experience. And oh my gosh, it was so inspiring. And I was so proud of our school district when the these kids talk about how they used to really going to school, didn't think school was for them, knew they were never going to get up to come and continue to be people. And now they're one of the minor program, which I did come to school and after that they used to hate them. They get done, so they can go to their some chefs, other future chefs, like melted my heart. Now the work that administration and teachers are going to
Thank you all for sharing your thoughts and answering our questions. We are going to do 60-second closing statements from each candidate. We'll
All right, well, in conclusion, and as a reminder, my name is Alexis. I'm committed to this community, and that is why I want to be on the school board. I think that we can continue to do great things. We're also making improvements and focusing on the education of our children who are the future of our community and the foundation of it. Please vote and vote for me.
Great. Yes, President Caucus, all the people have been helping set this up. I'm very, very encouraged that we have 5 very strong candidates, including an already very effective board. I had so much fun as a teacher. I'm just an opportunity to give back. I've been so appreciative of the support from this community as a teacher. I would love to have the opportunity to return all that support by being a board member who can be very active and committed to forging the relationships that we need between teachers and students. If you haven't voted already, please do support already. If you've already voted, vote. The elections that have been voted. You are fully offer my face. Anyway.
Thank you. So, I have been heartened by being on school board. It is part of the work. Thank you. But it doesn't matter. Get paid with the gratification of what I've seen in terms of reaching out to the community, the support we've gotten back. Always looking for new ways to reach out and understand the needs where we're not serving them, we are serving them, and how we can expand on that. So please let me return and vote for Cheryl Carson's ability.
I love being on the school board for the last 14 months, and I hope to continue. I mentioned before being a political learning, and I also push for continuous improvement in the school district. I kind of model that superintendent and principals and teachers how I can be a better school board member and really want to see more of. Typically, the feedback I hear is that they feel like I'm a good listener, ask good questions, positivity makes people want to work with me, and continue to do more of that and affect positive change in the board and our community. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I wish I had more time to go back and really answer some of these questions. I'm going to try to in 56 seconds. I initially started with telling you that I was a disruptor, but your answers were much better because I don't think that I'm just a disruptor. I'm probably mainly a disruptor, but I could have done myself more progressive. And I think that with progressive, you can be a collaborator.
Because I believe there's meeting for ways you can have your own things and transparency, you know, together. I'm always looking to come together as a board, but we find we remember as a kid, the most meetings, you know, the board, also listening. Going to the dual immersion question, I would just ask them, what do you think we could do better? They'll tell us, they know what we can do better. You know, I appreciate Alexis, he is really good with finances, as we know. Ryan, I've been getting to know him, watching the board, and he has business savvy, and he does ask helpful questions. Phil has tons of experience. But what I really think is being consistent, because people, you know, what's happening in the classroom, as I stated tonight, we need to take care of our teachers. Both for me, because I'm not afraid to step on toes,
Thank you all for joining us this evening. Thank you especially to Julia. IT guys, Colin was gonna do all the IT got COVID, and so now we had a team of 4 helping us. That was amazing. Also thanks to Tri-County Health Network, the library, and the school district for helping the PWC put this event on. This was recorded and will be on YouTube Live, although I think we had some audio issues. Hopefully that'll be okay. We would love your help in breaking down this program. The library closes in like 4 minutes. So thank you and have a great night.
Thank you.